Hi everybody, are you ready for a big fat favorites video? Because I've got so many great makeup products to talk about this month. Just a lot of cool things have worked their way into my beauty routine lately, so I'm going to share those with you. I'm going to try not to take forever on each and every one, but I've got a little box here and it is quite full, so I'm going to jump in and tell you the first things, just foundation, face-wise, the things I've really been liking the best, but they haven't necessarily been part of my game for the entire month. But they are certainly things that I enjoy a lot and I've been using very consistently since I discovered them. So they are the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation, the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I did a full video, very in-depth, devoted to both of these things and the application and the wear time. I would say just check out that video for the most comprehensive information on these products, but I wear the foundation in 4.5, the Shape Tape in light to medium, and they're amazing if you're into the full coverage look. So that is my ultimate full coverage face video if you want more details. Also, a killer highlight that I've been using lately, and a lot of times I feel like I'm maybe a little bit more drawn to the powdery highlights just because they're so quick, they're very low fuss in application, but this is a stick cream highlight. It's from NYX and it's called Bright Idea, and I have this in the shade Chardonnay Shimmer. They had quite a range actually. I purchased this off of Ulta's website and I got this one because I thought, hey, that looks maybe a little more beigey, a little more nude, a little bit more like might naturally occur from the skin, you know? So I got it and I was at first really impressed with the way it swatched and the way I could just blend it out with my fingers, but it looks just so glowing on the skin. Like I'm getting told I have that pregnancy glow. I'm sorry, but I did not wake up like this. This is pregnancy glow in a stick. The glow is so perfect and it's so undetectable in terms of looking up close at my face and seeing any kind of shimmer or particles or sparkle. No, you see none of that. It's the closest thing, I think, to the effect that I get from the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the liquefied form. I know that was like the top reason why I raved about that product, because once it's kind of blended out on the skin, you just don't see product, and it's kind of fascinating how that works. So just in case you were wondering, the way I apply this, it's a big chubby stick here. I take my e.l.f. small stipple brush, I just kind of, you know, go across the top like that and then dab it right on top of the cheek and on up. Could not be easier, but it's just a next level really pretty glow. That's where the glow's coming from. I mean, I may have woken up a little on the bloated side, but my skin was not doing this, I can tell you that. Moving on to a bronzer that is a rediscovered product. I love when a rediscovered thing makes its way into my favorites, and this is the Laura Geller Bronze and Brighten. And this product, I tell you what, the first time I had it, it was in a smaller size. You know how Laura Geller sometimes puts out the little travel kits, and it was the size of, I don't know, like a silver, excuse me, is the size of like a silver dollar. Is anybody familiar with the size of a silver dollar? I don't know. And anyway, these are baked products. They are kind of domed up a little. They are made on these terracotta tiles, which you will see underneath if you ever do hit pan. But that one, that's a product I completely used up, and it took me so long. I used it consistently, but it took me forever to use up. Since that time, I've purchased the full size, and while I have kind of flattened off the dome a little bit, I still think it's going to take me a good long while to actually go through it. But this is a great bronzer, very like skin brightening. It's not too like intensely warm. It's very kind of brownish, I think. But when you swirl your brush in it, you've got all these like beige tones and a little bit pinky tones and some deeper brown and tan colors in there. So it's a real mix, and I feel like the end result on the skin is just very pretty and very natural. And the finish of this is overall just matte. And so I use it with my e.l.f. complexion brush, which looks like this. And it's just a perfect kind of bronzer, all over face powder, anything type brush. And I just dab around and I'll go forehead. I'll sometimes for a quick contour might hit under the cheekbones, but you know, it's overall, it's bronzer. It's a skin tone boosting type product. Blush wise, a blush that I've been so enjoying, and it's been a little surprising just because to look at it in the pan, you think, well, that doesn't look like much, but it is the MAC Mineralized Blush blush in Warm Soul. And I really like wearing it on its own. I applied it, what was the video where I applied this just as is? I think it was the foundation video I did recently, and I just popped it on real quick. Looked beautiful. You know, it has some sheen, but it's not something where you're gonna see flecks of sparkle and shimmer. It's just a very naturally pretty look. But I also have liked this in terms of layering it. So like today I'm wearing one of my favorite buys from the Nordstrom sale. My favorite buy from the Nordstrom sale, by the way, the anniversary sale, probably that Lorac palette that I just tutorialed for you. But this shade, for example, this is just like a for instance here. I put this on my cheeks and then I layered a little bit of that on top, and then for the ultimate, you know, glow, I put the stick on top of that, and that's how all this is getting achieved there on the cheek area. But the point I'm kind of trying to make here is that this is just a nice blush on its own, or you may find it really, really beautiful layered on top of darker blushes, more neutral blushes, matte blushes, whatever the case may be. It's just a nice little companion. Let's talk brows for a second. I feel like I can get away, as being a full-browed person, I can get away with a lot of different things because I'm not maybe going to be as picky as someone who is waking up with no brows and having to go to a lot of extra effort to create the brow. You know what I mean? Tone is still very important to me, consistency is important, and just ease of use those are three factors that I think matter a lot to me. So something I've been using lately is this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. This was mentioned to me back when I did a video talking about how the NYX Micro Brow is a total dupe of the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I think this was just kind of getting out there to people at that time, and several of you said, you've got to check out this pencil from L'Oreal, it's even better. Well, to me, I find this to be really similar to NYX Micro Brow and the Brow Wiz. I mean, it's certainly the same shape. Like, it's just as itty bitty and skinny and precise, and it's got the little spoolie wand at the other end. And I wear this in the shade Brunette, which there are 3 shades and this is the middle one. And when y'all were telling me that there are only 3 colors in this product, I thought, okay, yeah, there's gonna be one in there that's gonna be just my dead-on match, but this is it. It happens to be it. It's not too warm. It transfers down easily. It's creamy, but it's not as creamy as the ColourPop brow pencil that I had been working with for a while. So I guess I'm here to say that I like it, but I also do like Brow Wiz and Micro Brow, and those other things like that for me just happen to really work well because, like I said, I'm going in this area, I'm filling in some there, I'm filling in a little bit around the end, but I'm not doing a ton of work on the brows. But the shade range is certainly, I think, more vast with the Anastasia and the NYX selection, just FYI. And also ColourPop has a lot of shades. For this only having 3, it might be a little bit more questionable as to whether you come up with the perfect shade for you. An eyeshadow product that's kind of like rediscovered because it's been lurking. It's been creeping around in my stash and I bought it. I remember I swatched it on Snapchat. I was impressed. Where did it go? You know, what happened? Well, it's back. I've been playing around with this recently and I am so impressed. It's this Wet n Wild palette, which I believe is exclusive to Walmart. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the only place I've found this and one that looks a whole lot like the Naked palette. That one's fine too, but it just doesn't like excite me quite as much because it seems so similar, you know? It's just like a kind of one of those repeat palettes. So this is the one called Nude Awakening, and this is for my berry people out there who love this kind of shade. If this shade is speaking to you, you will love this because this is just a beaut. Look at the intensity there. That kind of reminds me of, you know, the echelon of shadow we're getting from regular Wet n Wild, Color Icon, you know, trios and the Comfort Zone palette and things of that nature, but just a little bit different format here. But I feel like in terms of quality, it's all there. I mean, these mattes are just, that couldn't be more rich and full-on opaque. So I'm very pleased with this. If you think these are the kinds of shades you're gonna wanna wear, like particularly headed into fall, it's great. A few basic mattes that I wanna point out would be this shade right here at the end, this kind of creamy color, and then you've got this one, Perfection in the crease, deeper, darker crease color, berry, smoke it out, smudge it out. You'll see more red and burgundy in that color. It's just beautiful. And then you've got this matte kind of like charcoal grayish color and a matte black. So I feel like all the basic matte bases are covered here. And then you've got interesting little shimmery pops. Some are a bit more peach, some a little more in the pink department, but all all beautiful, and I gotta get that black swatch off of my finger before it transfers somewhere it shouldn't be. I get such satisfaction when drugstore shadows are awesome like that, you know? Like sometimes I'll come across someone randomly on YouTube and they kind of just like lump all drugstore shadows together, like make this huge generalization that, you know, well, for a drugstore shadow, it's okay. Well, you know what? Drugstore shadows can no longer just be lumped into some category as subpar eyeshadows, because if there's stuff like this out there in the drugstore, you know, there are fantastic quality products. Yeah, there are some duds, but you know, there are some duds from Dior too, so don't tell me that. Whew, let's get off that soapbox, shall we? Another drugstore shadow thing. Wait, I'm still on drugstore shadow. The L'Oreal quads. I've reviewed these. I love these. I really love all of the ones that I picked out because I had the French biscuit, which is great, you know, basic kind of warmish browns, charcoal, pretty, gorgeous purple quad. I've got the rose one. At some point in time or another, I have tried all of these and shown them on Snapchat. Really easy basic one to pull for though is the Boudoir Charm, because this is one where there are a couple of awesome mid-tones that can easily be worn all on their own or just paired with the highlight or just smudge that little guy on the lower lash line. It's so easy if you like these kind of bronzy autumnal type shades. One of the biggest questions I came away with from my review on these was, are they the same quality as the Color Riche singles? Not the infallible singles, but a lot of people were wondering about those Color Riche singles that I think are kind of like a little bit squared off pressed eyeshadows that came out more recently. And to me, the ones that I have from that collection are very hit and miss, more toward the miss side. And I feel like these quads that I have are so much more consistent. You know, the shades are really soft, really pigmented, just easy to blend and work with, and I like the shade selection. And now's about that time where you're thinking, okay, can this girl please stop talking about eyeshadows for a minute? But I've got one more thing that I have to share because it is a true favorite in my soul, and if I don't talk about it in this video, it would just be wrong. And it's the Mally Muted Muse eyeshadow palette. If you haven't heard about this, I'm not really shocked because this is a product I've only seen on QVC's website. It was a situation where I think either on Mally's Instagram or Snapchat or somewhere, I saw her mention that this was the one-time only value on a certain day, and it was being sold for like 25 bucks or something, some kind of ridiculously good price. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the QVC website and order that. I didn't even see the presentation, but I just thought it looked like the kind of palette I was really gonna love. And I'm so glad I got it because I do love it. Probably the best quality eyeshadow I think Mally has ever put out, and I have religiously kept up with her palettes. I feel like these are next level, just creamy, easy to use, and just gorgeous shade selection in here. I'm so happy with it. It came with a brush, by the way. I feel like the brush would be huge for me to apply eyeshadow with. It just seems so big, but it's fantastic for concealer. I used it for my concealer with the Tarte Shape Tape today, and I was like, wow, this is perfect, because like this little end will get right in there, and the flat side just really sweeps it on nicely. The eyeshadow though, the shades in here are so gorgeous, like this orange. What? You know, it's random, and it might look random as you just glance at it, but that kind of a shade blended up just above the crease is just, it's money. It's awesome. And there's a shade in here that I feel so especially strongly about, and of course when I move into that shade we've got a lawnmower next door, so I might be a little distracted here, but it's this color called Fancy. If I could create an eyeshadow color, it would probably look like this. It is if taupe and mauve and plum had a baby. It's so beautiful. I can't get over it. And I would probably name it Fancy too, in tribute to the Reba song that I'm always singing around the house when I'm doing stuff like chopping strawberries for Belle. You know, it's just so, ooh, it's tasty. And it has this sheen on it that is almost, why is it picking up like a little bit of a golden peach thing with the shine in that color? I don't know. It's so unique and interesting. So if you're not comfortable just bouncing around the entire palette and you look vertically, you can see kind of this plummy selection, a warmer selection with your matte brown. You got a matte plum here. Daydream has a little sheen to it. Artistry over here is matte, and then Awakening has a little bit of a sheen. In the description on the website, these weren't like marketed necessarily necessarily as face contour products, but I did contour with it today, and guess what? That's a perfect contour color. Any of y'all can look at that. Why am I saying y'all so much lately? It's just easier. But you know just by looking that shade popped into the hollow of the cheek is just perfect, and then you've got a little shine and glow if you want it there. But I like that they're kind of jumbo sized here, even if not for anything else but the eyes, because that is your easy crease color, and then you can dress it up with all these other things. I'm sorry guys, I feel like I'm having one of those days. I've got just thoughts a poppin' in my head. But this is the palette I'm wearing today. I've got Fancy used all over the lid, into the crease, a little bit of the plum in the crease as well, a little bit of this, I can't stop burping, sorry, right around the inner corner, and I smudged some of the dark brown on the lower lash line too. When I got it, it was on that one-time only value, so it was like under 30 bucks. I think now it might be right around 30 bucks. Still, I think it's awesome. Also, what I'm wearing today is this product from MAC, and it's one of their Tender Talk lip balms. I think this is kind of a new thing, and look how fun that packaging is. It's so like, I don't know, disco type thing, but the product on the inside could not be more like low maintenance and easy. Total lip balm style product here. And did I say this is in the shade Teddy Pink? So I went a little bit brighter because I suspected, you know, given the balm in the name, that these were going to be more on the sheer side. So I went brighter, and I love this color. This is not necessarily a shade that's been living in the makeup room so much, and I don't always start my day with this because it's more so in my purse because it's an easy touch up. And today, this morning, I don't know if you guys are hearing that mower that's next door, but I feel like he's in our yard. Well, if you want to mow our yard, I mean, go ahead. But today I popped on a little bit of lip liner. This is the Rimmel Exaggerate Lip Liner in East End Snob, so just a soft pink, and then this, you know, the color is kind of buildable. It's so just comfy, creamy, smooth. Love it. Easy to throw on without even looking in a mirror. But here's my question. How is this different from this? Aside from the packaging looking different, this is the Huggable lip color in the shade Bear Hug. Not like Grizzly Bear, but like B-A-R-E Hug. And this is kind of a corally color. I'm not comparing shades, but like the texture of these two products seems identical to me. If anybody wants to sort out the differences and you're a real like matte guru, please tell me, because I feel like they are just the same kind of feel, and I like them both, but why do we have different lines? I'm not sure. Last thing I want to mention is a brush cleaning product, and it is from Benjabel, and if that name sounds familiar, that's the brand that makes the brush trees where you can stick your brushes in and dry them. I love those. It's a great invention. It's a fantastic innovation in the makeup world to have that method where you can hang them up. Basically, they're hanging upside down in this little brush tree, and I think the one I have is the Daisy, or the, no, I think I have the Sunflower, and it has all kinds of different sizes, so it's perfect for your little brushes and your big brushes. Hang them there all at once, let them dry overnight. But they've put out some brush cleaning products. This is the Organic Brush Shampoo, so kind of a gel-like, you know, type consistency. And this surprised me so much in how effectively and completely clean it gets my brushes. So I would say I use 2 pumps to get a Sigma F80 just completely clean. These kinds of dense brushes take a little extra work because, you know, it also depends on the kind of product you're using with them, but odds are those are going to be used to apply foundations, which I just think cling into those brushes a little bit harder than a powdery product might. So how long has it been since you've cleaned your brushes? What kind of products have you been using with your brushes? That could dictate how hard it is to clean. But really, with minimal effort and just a couple pumps of the soap, I feel like those get 100% back to new clean. And then with smaller brushes or brushes I might use exclusively for powder, I swear I'm just using like 1/4 of a pump. I'm not even taking it down halfway, and the brush will get completely clean. And I've got like a little brush cleaning tool that is insanely cheap that I want to use it just a little bit more before I'm really confident in recommending it to you guys. So hang tight on that issue. I may do a brush cleaning video soon. But this stuff I've been using for a while, and I can tell, you know, it does a better job than the baby shampoo of quickly and effectively getting the brushes totally clean. It suds up great. It rinses clean. It's just an awesome product. And the pump that it has is so great because that's how you can know, like, okay, I'm just using the 1/4 pump. You start to understand how much it's going to take take to clean certain kinds of brushes, and you can make sure you're not overusing the product. So that's great. Great design. And that is it. I am finally done with my Best in Beauty for this month. I thank you guys so much for the time that you spend with me throughout your weeks. I love hearing that you enjoy the videos, but this is a total two-way street because I love sitting here making the videos too. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to have a makeup obsessed audience to speak to about these things, because it brings me joy, it brings me happiness. I love connecting with you guys, and I'm so thankful for you. I would also like to give a little shout out to my friend Erica Jones, because she has gone through a very difficult loss recently. She lost her granny, and she calls her granny. Very precious person to her, and I know it's been a difficult time, but she has come back to her YouTube channel and posted her like favorites of the last couple of months, and I just really enjoyed that video. It was nice to see her again, first off, but also her beauty favorites and just some random things that she had on there. I thought it was just really a fun video, and if you want to go over and show her some love, I know many of you like watching her too. She's got that great Kentucky voice, so I love listening to her. She's got the best accent ever. But check out her video, show her some support. I know it's been a tough time, and it's great to see her back here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you soon. Bye.